7, 8, 9, 10. Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Party of Two, where one married couple takes on a world of gods and monsters.
Gods and monsters.
This is a Pathfinder 2nd Edition actual play, and I am Weston Bell, your GM for the night.
And I am Hayley Bell, your PC for the night.
Now, real quick, your PC, just who is she?
Her name is Anduriana. She is a tiefling fighter / champion of the god Pharasma.
Okay. And I will also be playing a character as. If you are new to our show, we switch off who is the GM, but we keep characters throughout as a consistent story.
It's fun.
So, tonight, we are continuing our adventure. Do we have any announcements before we get started?
Yes, we do. So this week we should have a few more episodes up on the podcaster thingies on the platform. So be on the lookout for those. And VOD goes up on Fridays for the previous week.
Did we get the one up from this last week?
I think so.
I'll double check.
Okay, we'll double check. I think that might be it because I don't know if we can announce.
We can.
We can?
Yeah, so
Did we get the official announcement?
Oh, yeah. So we will, two things, actually. We are going to have a new segment on our Tabletop Terrain Talks on Monday nights that is going to be covering Table Talk news.
Yes, so Tabletop Terrain Talks is a talk show that we do on Monday nights just to kind of talk about nerdiness and geekiness, and we'll talk about tabletop gaming, terrain, and other things.
Well, I love the title that you put on it. It's from indie to D&D, correct?
Yeah, our TTRPG news is from indie to D&D.
So we'll be covering indie games, new games coming out, maybe third-party content, as well as news within the TTRPG world.
Yep, and we'll be featuring any new products or things that are new and noteworthy.
Yep. So if you have a product or you have a module, you have something you're building that you would, a Kickstarter that you would like talked about, go ahead and find us on Twitter.
Yep, we are at Party of Two RPG on Twitter, or you can email us at partyof2rpg@gmail.com.
We are also, our Monday night Tabletop Terrain Talks is now has an official sponsor.
We're sponsored, you guys!
So we are sponsored by GameGearMaster.com, the makers and designers of Terraino modular system. So I'll give a little bit more in depth on. You should have seen last night, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm realizing we're recording this early, so you would have seen this.
You have seen last night. Some more details on that, but we are really excited about that partnership, and you'll be seeing some Terraino tonight.
It's very
possibly.
exciting. Maybe
Let me if we get there.
Maybe I don't know. The GM is. Are you railroading me? Are you railroading your PC?
No.
No. Okay.
I know my PC very well.
It's true. He does. But I think that is all the news that we have. We didn't have anything else really big.
I think that is it as well.
Coming up.
All
cool.
right. Well,
okay.
If that's all, then we will get into tonight's episode of Party of Two. And we're back. So, last time on the Scions, you had the opportunity to go check out the Alabaster Academy, where you, as walking first in, were faced with a animated statue.
And we killed it.
One of the animated statues there of the Academy, apparently enchanted at some time in the past, had gone haywire and was attacking people.
It came to life.
So you began to attack it, and then it went some. Then the headmistress came up and just turned it to mud. She then gave you a tour of the academy, showed you around, and introduce you to the head of the Department of the Arcane, Delta. A
fishman.
Yes, a fish man. He is of a race that comes from the Aslanti and had been taken under the seas to be ruled by the Abeloths. But now they're out. But yes, he's still a fishman. As and you had negotiated for him to have access to the academy and all the different things there. You also went shopping, bought some interesting things.
We bought some stuff.
Had a confrontation with Michael about where you're going to live.
It wasn't really a confrontation. It was more just like we're letting him know.
That was the week before, wasn't that? The conversation with Michael was the week before. You went to the academy, and I think from there it was just you went home.
No, we went home and we had a discussion with Michael about it. Yeah.
Then, after talking with Michael and talking about possibly moving into a different location, instead taking Elisa's house. Elisa, right? Alyssa. Dang it.
Oh, sorry. Alea.
Okay.
Jeez Louise.
Those names. Alea's house. You then went to sleep and in the night had a dream of a red-haired girl spouting off some words in the middle of a seizure, being held down. You woke up to find a Morgan in your room.
A Morgan.
Morgan, I think is the way it's said.
Morgan.
In your room, who is a servant of Pharasma. She talked with you a little bit about the need to get back and stop with Waldron. And that you needed to gather allies and power enough to go and stop what's going on there. She gave the opportunity to ask questions, and you didn't really know what to ask. And so then she left, walking with her spider silk gown out and disappearing.
So creepy.
You slept. Not a very restful night. Now you wake in the morning, the sunlight coming in the windows. You see flecks of dust going through the air. It's later morning, not late, but not early either. Bruce is, of course, laying next to you on the floor right next to your bed. What would you like to do?
Right, well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of pat the bed and say, Bruce, come up here.
Okay. He's going to come up in the bed and kind of lean on you and kind of put his head in your neck.
And I'm just going to lay there and kind of scritch him for a minute enjoy the weight of him just on me, that sense of realness.
He puts his paws up on you and kind of his elbow seems to dig into your side a little bit.
I'm like, Bruce. And I kind of like push it out of the way. Then I do end up getting up and kind of look around the room for a minute, and the events of the night and the dream and whatnot kind of all still sitting there rumbling around in my head.
As you look around, roll a perception check for me.
14 plus... Is it 13 right now? 13. So 25.
You notice...
26. No. 27.
27. You notice on the chair where you had seen the woman sitting between two of the spokes, you now see a glistening small spider web.
I'm going to go over and look at it really quick. Is there a spider on it?
Small little one. Just sitting in its web.
You look at it and say, hello, little one. Are you watching over me? Does it do anything?
It says... No,
oh, dear heavens.
It doesn't. It just sits there doing its web, ignoring you.
Okay. Right. Well, if you are here to spy, you're going to be very bored because I'm leaving. I go over and grab my robe really quick and head out the door. I am going to go find some paper. So possibly down to Sir Michael's office.
As you open the door, you see there are servants bustling here and there, doing their morning duties and preparing things. One young woman sees you coming out the door. Oh, yes. Madame Anna, what can I do for you this morning?
I am looking for some paper and an ink and quill. If you... Actually, you probably know where they are better and faster than I could. So, could you possibly go get me some, and bring it to my room?
Yes, I can do that. I will get some right away.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Of course.
And as she turns around and walks away, as soon as she's out of sight.
Yes.
I'm gonna just really quickly dash over to Az's room and do a quick knock, and then slightly open the door.
So you open the door?
I'm just gonna open the door a little bit.
You hear, yes, what? Oh, Anna. You see him, he's sitting on the side of his bed, and before him he has got a book on one side of him, a book on the other side of him, a book on his lap, and he's just studying over a bunch of different things. You can tell he's been up for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Az?
Yes, Anna. What?
I need you to take a break from your nerdy study thing, and I'd like your help with something.
Nerdy? I do not know this term.
That's fine. You don't need to know it. But I need your help with something. Could you come into my room in 5-10 minutes?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I just shut the door really quick and then just pitter run across all the way to my room and get dressed really quick for the day.
After about 5 minutes or so, you hear a slight knock at the door, and then all of a sudden it opens to admit the young servant who you had seen out there. She is bringing in, she's got some papers, a quill, and some ink. Just, where would you like these?
Can you just go put it on the little desk over there?
Yes, and she will go place it down for you. Is that all?
Yes, it is. Actually, well, no, could you go get me some tea?
Will you be joining the master for breakfast?
Possibly. I don't know, to be totally honest. I'm not totally sure. But some tea would be lovely.
Okay. Yes, madam.
Thank you.
And then she'll exit out to go get your tea. As she's leaving, she opens up the door, and Az is like, sorry. Anna, you needed something of me?
Yes, please. Come in.
Yes, what can I do for you?
Okay, shut the door.
Shuts the door.
Thank you. All right. Az.
Points to the table. Are you going to write something?
Yes. What was that?
I have never seen you write in the whole time that I have known you. It's not that I did not think you could. Just you don't seem like the type to sit in the morning and write.
I don't normally sit in the morning and write, which is why this is a little different. But you do realize that I was in classes and I had studies and I had things that I did as a Hellknight, right? I didn't just go around whacking things, even though that was the funnest part of the job.
They don't? I thought that's all I ever saw them do, was whack people and
well, it's true. You didn't spend...
And play cards.
You didn't spend very much time with the Armigers, so...
They like to play cards a lot.
The Armigers?
The Hellknights in general.
Well, yeah, it's because it's bloody boring.
Well,
okay,
what can we do?
Okay, you're distracting me. Stop it. I am... All right, so... Okay, so I had a dream.
Yeah?
That wasn't a dream, I don't think.
What do you mean?
It was very real. And it didn't feel like that haziness that comes with dreams. There was clarity and focus, and it might have been possibly a vision, or seeing something happening in a different place of the world.
Well, you can messages can be sent through dreams. I have spells myself that can do that.
But is it pictures? And happening in front of you, or is it just you and I talking to each other?
They can be. It depends on the way you want to do the dream. Who, if you think this was a message, who would it be from?
Honestly, I never thought it was. I don't know.
So in the dream, there was a young woman. She had red hair, and she was on a bed. And she began to have a fit of some type. And
A fit, do you mean...
her body began to shake, and...
a seizure?
Yes, a seizure. And there were a few attendants that came in and were trying to help her and keep her body safe.
What did the room look like? Sterile?
I don't remember. Yes, it was sterile, like a bit like the infirmary.
Okay, so you have a young woman who has seizures in an infirmary.
In an infirmary, and she said something, and I remember what she said. And this is why I wanted the pen and paper, the parchment and ink.
Do you want to write, or do you want me to?
You want to dictate? Oh, you want me to dictate to you?
You can. I took dictation from Titus quite often.
Oh, sure. That wasn't the plan, but of course, sure. You
So
can.
he'll take the pen and he'll take the ink and he'll dab it and check the ink level and make sure it creates a nice clean line and yes.
All right. So this is what she said. Deep.
So you can just repeat.
His shadow. Okay, so I'm just going to read it. Okay.
letters.
Deep in his shadow it flows. Its banks run deep and wide. But its strength and its course they have stolen for their own plans, have they stolen its tide. Why do they dam up its course? For the cost of its ebb shall be known. His shadow as pale as a skull, his dark light over all shall be shown.
So he writes it all down. That was. So this so you have this room, woman has a seizure, and then she says this?
Yes. And that was the entire dream. And then I woke up and sitting and I point at the chair. Sitting in that chair over there was a woman. A woman I'd never seen before.
Okay.
And she was covered in spiders.
Yeah, let's roll some religion check.
Ooh, I got to 3.
Az got a natural 20.
Well, that's perfect. Hold on. So I got 11. No,
Okay.
30, 12. I got 12.
Considering that you are a champion of Pharasma, I'm gonna say that's enough to identify that it was a Morgan,
Okay.
which is a servant of Pharasma and is a member of the. I believe they are psychopops.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so I say that to him.
Okay.
And then I say,
Which he haven't rolled that natural 20. But yes, I am acquainted with the beings.
yeah, apparently she can like just come and go as she pleases.
Wait. So you have a dream
Yes.
in which this individual speaks these words, and then when you wake up, there is a servant of Pharasma sitting in your bedroom, and you aren't sure where the dream came from?
Okay, well, when you say it like that...
I mean, that is kind of direct.
Okay, it's true. But still. I wasn't sure if the two of them were connected. Look, it was really late and I was exhausted and we had just been all over town and...
Okay,
Don't judge me.
so what did she say?
She basically said that I screwed it up. And that I needed to go back and stop Cuthwaldwyn before something worse happened. And I needed to find allies to help me. And, yep. That was pretty much it.
The words from this dream. Mm-hmm. They talk of a river?
Yes, deep in his shadow it flows. Its banks run deep and wide.
His shadow. And then the second to last line.
His shadow is pale as a skull.
That is, again, because he rolled a nat freaking 20 on his religion check. And he's a cleric.
And he's a cleric.
In the boneyard. Above the boneyard and the Tower of Pharasma and the River of Souls is the moon. That is Grogan. Grogan is the deity of the end of the world, of the apocalypse. And it is a moon that sits over the boneyard with the face of a skull on the moon.
The face of a skull?
Yes.
Well, I mean, that could be that last line. His dark light over all shall be shown. So if we're if we're talking about the river, it's the River of Souls.
He sits over the boneyard where the River of Souls or the River Styx flows.
So if we're talking about Gorgon, if the poem prophecy, whatever this is, if she's talking about Grogan, then most likely she's also talking about the River of Souls.
When Grogan's light, when the world is in a state of danger, on a massive scale, it is said that Grogan will come closer to the boneyard, that his light will shine closer to the Tower of Pharasma.
Okay.
So if his light over all
shall be shown, that's the end of the world.
That would be a reasonable interpretation.
And then its strength and its course they have stolen, assuming they're talking about the river, and then for their own plans have they stolen its tide. I think this is talking about Cuthwaldwin.
How so?
Well, they're taking the souls of the people and they're putting them in automatons. They're war machines. The strength of the river is the souls.
The souls are not returning to the River of Souls.
No, so someone's dying and the river is not receiving its bounty, essentially.
If Cuthwaldwin's influence could spread far enough, he would limit the flow of the River of Souls enough to cause, apparently, major issues.
That would have to be hundreds of millions, if not billions, of people.
He said that his plan was to do this on a scale enough to invade the abyss. That would have to be millions
It would.
of soldiers.
That's a lot. Do you think... I mean, honestly, though, do you think he could do it? Could you have the resources to make that many war machines?
I do not know.
I mean,
That
he's
is
ambitious, but he's not... it's not unlimited.
Possibly.
I don't know where the speaker is.
It's in your room.
It should be in your room, bud. It should be in your room. Did you move it from the bathroom?
It's plugged in into the socket in his bedroom.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to cut that part out.
Yep, we will. Okay.
All right. So,
It's not, he doesn't have unlimited resources.
I do not know. But if there's enough for Pharasma to send a emissary, if the gods are worried, we should be worried.
Probably. But who was the girl? There was no real indication other than the fact that she had red hair, but...
That is, I cannot say.
The last time I saw Sia, she was 8.
Did the individuals in your dream, you said there were a doctor, there were
yes, they were like attendants. Uh-huh.
Did they react when she spoke?
I don't remember. Did they? This was old hat for them. Right. No, they didn't seem to react at all.
Yeah,
to
there was
her.
no mention, when I told you the story, there's no mention of them reacting to her speaking.
Okay. No, there was no reaction. None whatsoever.
That would indicate that they are aware.
Or they've heard her do this before.
Yes, that is what I mean. So, it is possible the girl you saw is an oracle.
They'd have an oracle in an infirmary?
From what I understand, the abilities of an oracle can be taxing. Especially if she has seizures when she sees things, it could be dangerous.
I don't know anything about oracles.
Titus had done some study, but not much. I do not know.
Huh. Well, there was no indication in the dream where the girl was, other than in an infirmary. There was no windows or indication of... And I didn't feel like it was like this thing of like, go find her. It was more just like peering through the veil for a few moments.
Well, all we can do then is use what we know, move forward with what we know, and maybe we'll find the rest out later.
Maybe.
I mean, do you
The
often dream of girls speaking and having seizures? I don't think so.
No.
So,
Of course I
have you
don't.
ever had that before?
I've never really had a dream like this before. Well, that's not true. There was one other time, but
Then,
that was when we were still back at the Citadel with the...
and what did that dream say?
Kind of more of the same of what the Psychopop said, of what Morrigan said. It was stop them.
We cannot see all things, but Pharasma can see in the future. She might see more than is apparent at the moment.
Yes. So apparently this is like a big thing. So we should probably go find a temple and find someone to talk to about it. In general.
Well,
I mean, how do we find allies? I don't know how to find allies with things like this. It's just like...
Well, we are doing things now that are gaining us attention and allies here in Kintargo. I would say
maybe the Queen would let us have some of her like spy people, and we could like just go in and someone could kill Cuthwaldwin.
I do not think that a simple spy could get in there.
I mean, he's got to sleep sometime. It just slit his throat. I mean, is that not something that's possible?
A wizard of his skill? No.
I mean, we know the Citadel. We know where he is. All right. Well, first order of business then is to go and find a temple to Pharasma, and then possibly we might need to go shopping.
For?
Things for the house. We are staying at the house, aren't we? Or are we not?
We talked about that. Maybe. I kind of have some things to do today.
Like what?
At the academy,
Oh dear.
including putting those, starting to put the
Runes on the
on
sword?
your swords and your armor and such.
I forgot about that. All right, so you go there and I go to the temple.
Yeah, I think that was the plan.
So we are going to split the party.
Mhm.
There's only two of us. This could be bad. Okay, that's fine then. Right, so then I'll just go with you to the academy, and hopefully there's no more statues that decide to jump out at us, and then I will go find a temple. I don't remember last time did we talk about where the temple was?
You didn't want to ask anyone because you didn't want to tell anyone what type of temple you were looking for.
Oh, that's true.
We could ask Michael.
Michael probably knows what the Temple District is.
I will say you have not yet told him either. The deity
About what?
Pharasma.
Well, he doesn't need to know that. We can just ask him where the Temple District is.
Okay. I mean, you could ask him where you could find the Temple of Pharasma. Is it really that bad? This is not Cheliax.
Well, no, it's not that. It's private. It's.
You
I
do
don't
not
know.
need to
I
tell
don't-
him that you are are talking with the goddess, but simply that you are looking for, interested where you might find a temple to Pharasma.
You really think it's okay to tell her?
I don't see a reason why not.
I've always held it very close to the chest because of what happened to my parents.
That
So-
is Cheliax. This is not Cheliax.
It was once.
And they worked very hard to make it not Cheliax.
True. All right.
They're holding a Hellknight in chains right now.
I know. I guess we could ask him.
That is your choice, or you could, ask any other person. You could simply go out in the street and say, "Where would I find the Temple of Pharasma?" There are people. It's up to you. I mean, you can
I
find the
think we
Temple
could-
District and then ask around there. Or
I think
simply
we
ask
probably
Michael.
could. That would probably be fine. About asking Sir Michael.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be cagey about it. It's just it's hard. This has always been a piece of me and of my life, my devotion, that has been hidden from the world, and
Mm-hmm.
I've never truly been able to worship out loud before, if that makes sense. So it's just strange.
It
to-
does make sense to me.
You've had to keep things hidden for a very long time.
It was coming here and declaring to the Domina that I could do magic was... At least it's not an oil
A
gas
giant
can.
gas can?
Yeah.
Freaking Sam Riegel.
Was big for me. And I will tell you something, Anna. I understand how unnerving a dream like this can be. I have had one.
Get out. No, really? From Pharasma?
No,
Oh.
my deity.
Nethys? What, did Nethys send you like a vision kind of thing?
He pulled me into one. He spoke to me, but there was not much information. He said I was not ready yet.
Well, that's less than helpful.
It was. He was. He is mad, but
It's true.
but brilliant. It is.
If the tales are to be believed.
Oh, believe me, they are. Well, let us. I have much work to do.
All right.
the academy
Well,
today,
you go
and
get your
you-
things. You go get your things, and I guess I'll meet you downstairs. I don't want a full breakfast, so I'll just grab like some toast and a pastry.
Okay, I believe they have baguettes. With
Baguettes with butter and cheese.
Yes.
And ham.
yes.
Making me hungry.
I will ask, and so he'll go and he'll just ask a servant there that you're wanting something to go, some baguette with some butter and cheese and ham,
cheese and ham. It is the best in the world.
and then he will. Anything else you want to? Same.
Is Sir Michael downstairs? I mean, if he is, I just want to pop in and tell him that we're leaving for the day. And
He is. Yes, he's in his study. He's working on some new designs for dresses,
oh, all right. So I'm just gonna.
and I understand some riding clothes, breeches, and you had.
Did I ask for that?
You had requested.
Oh, right. Oh, right. Yes. I did. Thank you. I will go talk to him. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go out and go into his office. And
Are
just
you
do
still in a robe?
knock. No, I had changed.
Okay.
I told you I had changed.
I didn't
In the
remember that.
time when I went back to my room and Az came, I changed into
Okay.
just normal clothes.
Small clothes.
Which
Which for you at this point is still kind of like your gambeson and stuff like that.
Well, it's like a pair of breeches and a tunic. Like it's pretty chill for me.
So you're looking for Michael. So he's in the study.
So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go to his study and just kind of knock on the door. Is the door open or shut?
It's shut, but come in.
You just can open and kind of peek my head in a little bit, kind of like I did with Az, and I'm like, good morning.
Anna, what can I do for you?
I am just wanting to let you know we are going out for the day, but we will be back.
I must show you this. Come.
All right. Go in. Also, I'll enter the room and go up to his desk.
I have been designing these for you. I thought these would be wonderful. And he's going to show you some different designs for some pants and things like that made out of. It's actually made out of some fairly sturdy leather that actually would turn aside a blade if need be.
Wow, Sir Michael, these are wonderful.
That way, you don't come back with as tattered of clothes in the event of a mishap when you are not prepared.
Thank you for thank you for that. No, these are perfect. These are beautiful.
And then he shows you how he's got those. He's got some boots, but you notice that as you look at the boots, there's a slight tilt to the.
So, Michael, are you putting a heel on the boot?
It is a small one.
No.
But you will not even
No.
notice. You will not even
No.
notice. It is a
No.
wedge. It is not a heel. It is a wedge.
No. I will wear heels when I wear dresses. If you are making this for me, I do not want a heel in my boot.
Well, it will need to have some heel.
It can have a
grip.
very small heel for grip. That is it. But not like, that was too high. That was like you were trying to like make my calves look all sexy. And that's not what we want. Function. Function over fashion, dear.
This is function and fashion.
I know. That is why
That
you
is
are
the
best.
better.
You are the best at all of this. But we need to remember the function part is more important. You know, I love
Go.
you. Okay. All right. We'll be back in just a few hours. Maybe.
Yes.
Possibly dinner. Okay, bye. And I can turn around and I'll give him a really quick little kiss on the cheek and then go.
Where are you going?
Oh, wait. No, you're right. I had a question. Well, Az is going to the academy to do some work in the laboratory. But
The study, yes. He is one of those with the books and such.
I know, definitely one of those with the books.
Could you tell him, I noticed that I'm missing a book on economy, the economics of Kintargo. I would love to have that.
Of course, that's a book that he would take. Whatever. Do you know where the temple to Pharasma is?
Yes, in the temple district. There is, yes, Our Lady of Life. Or the Our Lady of Death, depending on which side you go into.
What, there's two different sides?
Yes, it is there in the temple district. There is it is between the two sides of the cemetery.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. So Our Lady of Life or Death, depending on which side you go through. All right. Do we have, like, can I get, like, specific directions from him? Or, like, is that just...
Yeah, he can just tell you kind of where the temple district is.
Okay.
As you're watching him, you do see a slight kind of a look of kind of examining you and kind of a lot of gears turning in his head.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going
but he's not saying anything.
Just going to smile. I'm not going to say anything about it. All right, thank you.
Yeah, Anna,
Yes?
is that your patron?
Kind of.
Okay, I do not wish to pry. It's just
No, it's all right.
I know what you can do, and I have.
It's all right. She is. She's been my guide most of my life, but it's only been in recent months that she's taken a more active part in my actions.
And you see him kind of like, there's like a holy crap. Like, the lady has... Boy.
Well, I mean, I don't know necessarily if it was the lady herself, but I mean, I have had moments with followers. People... She's taken an interest, we can say, to actions that have surrounded me, and in so doing, taken an interest in me. So I don't think it's necessarily a me thing. It's more of like a I happen to be in the right place at the right time kind of thing. So yeah.
Well, then yes, it is there in the temple district, and well, not this year, not yet. Yes.
What do you mean not this year?
It is the saying, the lady, we will all see her, but not this year, not yet.
Oh.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, I'm
You
going
will.
to go.
You would recognize that though as a normal saying when referencing to Pharasma.
Okay.
It is a normal thing.
I'm thinking like this is a really weird Gintargo thing.
Nope. No, there are a couple
Okay.
of main sayings that
And
actually you
that's
find.
one
One
of
is
them.
that all who live must face her judgment is another common one, and the lady shall keep it are all common religious statements made by those who know Pharasma. And you can find all those in the Lost Omens
Okay.
book.
All right.
So if you want to study up on her.
Yeah, just a little bit. I have read a lot about her. Okay. All right. Thank you, Sir Michael. I appreciate it.
Of course.
And I'm gonna then just kind of turn around and be like, "Do you want the door open or closed?"
You can close it, and if you have a chance to meet the matron there, you can say hi.
Does she know you?
Sophie was delivered there.
Oh. Wait, it's a hospital.
It is a lady
Wait,
of
it's a-
life and a lady of death.
It's a hospital.
It is one side is a mortuary,
Huh.
and the other side is a midwifery.
So it's not a hospital. So there's not like an infirmary there.
No,
Okay. Okay. That's very weird.
no. But yeah, well, Pharasma is the woman of life. It is those born and those that die.
It makes sense. It's just I was thinking like large parapets and Gothic structurings and stained glass windows, not
Roll d20
not
and add your religion.
screaming babies. Natural 20.
Okay, you would know actually most temples,
29.
a lot of temples to Pharasma are actually midwifery places. They are places of death. Her religion doesn't tend to get the same emphasis, but at certain times of life are when people really think of Pharasma. And so generally her temples are focused on those times of people's lives.
Would I have actually learned that, considering I lived in a teeny little town and I'd been dedicated
Your parents
to
would have
her,
taught you about
but-
different things about her.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking like the actual temple
And you
structures.
would
I've
have-
never been to one.
I'm sure you would have had a small one there. Now, you might have not considered it the same as large ones, but
Okay. All right.
Anna's not stupid. I mean, she
No,
would have,
she's
she
not
would have
stupid,
seen
but-
and found out things. So
She's never been to one.
nope.
Okay. All right. I will say hello to her from you and Sophie.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. And then I'm gonna head out and
look around for Az.
You find as he has actually come down. He's sitting in a little chair near the exit or the front door, and he's got a baguette in one hand that he's kind of nibbling on, and he got another one in his other hand that he's holding, and then he's got a book in his lap that he's reading.
Okay. I'm going to look at him and say, are you reading the economics of trade in Kintago?
No, this is a book I got from the academy. The economics of trade in Carthago is in my bag.
Apparently Sir Michael would like it back.
Oh, I will return that. Baguette?
Yes, thank you. I'm going to grab it and take a bite and then kind of like put it in my pocket and be like,
You
okay.
bite into it. It's still slightly warm.
Why are you doing this to me? I'm so hungry right now.
The butter has been melted
Oh my
completely.
gosh.
The cheese is melted just a little bit from the warmth of the bread.
That sounds so good. That really does.
There's some freshly thin sliced mutton.
Oh
on
my
there.
gosh.
Really hate you right now.
All right, so it's like, well, I'm like, this is really good. Thank you. But I think we are good to go.
Okay. He has motioned to a servant. Can you give this? And he pulls out of his bag. Can you give this back to Sir Michael? I have finished it. And they're like, yes, we will. And they take it, and they'll just can't take it back. Well, we go. He kind of jumps up, and he's kind of like, well, we go.
You are very excited.
And he walks a little bit faster than normally out the door.
Oh my gosh. I'm just kind of roll my eyes and then walk out with him.
All right.
But I'm assuming like we've pulled the horses, like there's horses that have come around for us from the stables to grab.
You hadn't asked for any.
Oh.
Do you want?
I would like some horses, please. I don't want to walk around.
Oh, you want? So then, as well, do we want to send someone and quote unquote
We can just go
check
get
them out
some.
under Michael or under our writ?
We can do it under our right? We don't need to do it
I
for
say we
somebody
do it
else.
under ours.
So let's go just get them.
All right, so you're gonna go over to the stables. You've been there before. The head of the stables recognizes you because you showed him the writ last time, and he'll be like, yes, I have horses right here.
I just had a great idea to describe how I look right now.
Okay.
I look like Ren from Renfield from Witcher.
Renfield. Oh, okay.
With
I
the,
got
like the leather black pants and the white billowy shirt.
that. Gotcha.
Okay, not white. Her shirt wasn't white. It was like cream and dirty.
I'm gonna say you're a little less fashionable than that.
Why?
Because you have not had clothes actually made for you yet
She's
for that.
bloody freaking sexy right now. Come on.
So they get you some horses real quick, same ones as before because they're now acquainted with you, and then they.
I'm just gonna quickly just kind of pat her nose and just give her a little give her that moment of will you breathe into the horse's nose to say hello?
I'm gonna ask you to roll either a warfare lore or a nature check.
Do I have warfare?
Yes, you do.
Oh, I do.
That's why I gave you that option because I don't think you have
Oh,
nature.
No, yeah, warfare. We'll do warfare. Ooh, that's not bad. 9. That is 25.
All right. You are acquainted with horses. You were learned how to, ride horses and take care of horses in your training. And so you, of course, go up. Horse gets real comfortable with you real quick. Saddles on, everything set up. Jump on the horse and riding with no problems. Okay. The horse recognizes you as a knowledgeable rider.
All right, cool.
Right, then head away.
Hi ho, Silver. Ha. So you roll. You guys ride out the gates. The guards of the gate, of course, recognize you. Are you? So you're gonna go drop Az off first?
Yeah, so I'm gonna take Az to the academy and give him my sword and the because I brought that with me in my bag of holding.
Yep. So Az is gonna ask for today. He's like, today we can do one of the.
Well, then you can have the armor. I'll keep the sword with me.
Okay, you want to keep? Okay, I will do the armor and the rune, the potency rune today.
And I'm going to take out the piece of paper? Stone?
It was stone. It was stone, like piece of pottery type thing.
I just remembered it was not in a box because we had a whole discussion about how it's not in a box.
So I'm gonna give that to them, to him, and drop him off at the front gate.
Nice. Az takes the armor, puts it on his shoulders, buckles a little bit,
It's not that heavy.
and then straightens up and says, okay, I have this, and starts walking. I did make him roll an athletics check, and he did well.
Okay, good.
And so Az is gonna, you see him walking into the academy, armor over his shoulder, the rune in his pocket, and there's a bit of a bounce to his step and such as he walks into the
I'm
academy.
just gonna kind of watch him walk away and just kind of like giggle. His cute little boy-esque energy with what he's doing. I'm going to turn around and stop the person that walks by.
Okay, so you see a man walking by. He's got very simple clothes, workman's clothes. Hands are dirty.
Excuse me?
Yes. What
Could you point me in the direction of the temple district?
It is across the bridge on the other side.
Okay. Thank you. And then I'm gonna just okay. That's fine. Yes, I knew that. I knew it was on the other side. It just okay. All right, so I'll turn around and just start heading back direction. And once I get to the other side of the bridge, then I'm going to ask.
So roll a
someone
d20
else.
and add your persuasion or intimidation.
Natural 20.
Okay, you have no problem asking people. You ask them. You've got a nice smile on your face, and you're
See,
pretty.
I told you she looks hot.
And so they are like, "Oh, it's right." You actually find a young man who is more than happy to guide you directly there.
I'm not going to allow that, but thank you for the wonderful directions.
So you are led to the Temple District, which at the center of the Temple District is actually what's called the Temple of the People. It used to be the Temple to Asmodeus, but it has now converted into kind of the city hall. It is where all the people come together to talk about issues, to have councils and stuff like that where the public are involved. And that is taken over the Temple of Asmodeus. They also have here quite a few other temples, but on the...
What was it? What was it called then? Center or Temple of the People? Okay.
But on the north side, right, around that same area, there's a center street that goes around the Temple of the People. On the other side of that, you see a building in between two open plots of land, grass area with headstones on it. And you see on one side, there are actually two doors. And it's almost like there's a paint job on one side and a different paint job on the other side. One side muted, the other side more of a pastel type situation. There's two doors. And over one, it says Our Lady of Death. And on the other side, it says Our Lady of Life.
I'm just going to stand there. I'm going to take the horse over and then kind of get off and tie her off and kind of look at both doors. Be like, right, well, I don't know where to go. Because it's kind of about life. It's kind of about death. I'm going to flip a coin. And she pulls a coin out of her little purse. I'm going to flip a coin. All right. I guess we're going to Our Lady of Life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to walk over to those doors and attempt to open the door. Is it locked or unlocked?
It is unlocked.
Okay, good.
And you see, it's
Open the door.
It's very pretty. There are some nice, subtle, but there's flowers there. It is very light colors. It's very nice, clean.
And like the inside area.
As you the outside. As you
the
open
outside,
it,
okay.
open up. Door opens well, and you see what opens up into what looks very much like a small reception area. There's a fireplace where it's warm. There's fire burning there. There are some nice, comfortable chairs, and there is a woman sitting at a desk, who will look up. Yes, dear. How can I help you? Are you?
Am
Are we
I
expecting?
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. It requires a man to do that, and that's not happening. Can I speak with the matron of the cathedral? What is this place even called? I mean, like, it's a temple, but like...
Well, this is we are midwives, and this is midwifery, and yes, I mean,
but, like, who takes care of, like, the non-birth, non-death things? Like, the things in between?
What? Are you here for Our Lady?
Yes.
Of course, we all serve Our Lady, just in different ways. No, of course you can speak with the matron. My name is Lyria.
Hi,
and she
Lyria.
puts out her hand to shake your hand.
Lyria. I am Andoriana.
Are you looking for the chapel?
Yes.
And she's notions off to one side. There's a door an open doorway right there that you see. And inside you look in and you see a small but very nice chapel. Pulling out of the world a bit, kind of akin to some of the chapels you'd have in hospitals and stuff like that.
Okay,
so it's got about four
really
rows,
small,
four rows on each side.
A teeny little altar in the front.
Yeah, a teeny altar in the front.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go in and are there like pictures of Pharasma?
There's not, but what there is as you walk in, you see all along the sides are motifs and carved in things of young children, hourglasses, skulls, then in the front, you see that there is a statue carved in wood, beautiful, of a woman with her arms outstretched, and in front of her, a large hourglass. It's about 2 feet tall, the hourglass. The statue is about 3 feet tall. And from it, you see pouring down sand.
I'm going to kind of walk up and like kind of investigate the statue really quick. I'm alone, right?
Yeah, you're alone right now.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk up to it and just want to look, where's the sand coming from?
The sand's it's coming from the hourglass. So
I know,
there's
but
two
like,
sides.
Does the hourglass move? Can it be like flipped? Okay, so then where's the sand coming from?
Do you want to try?
I kind of maybe like knock on it a little bit.
It is glass. It's glass, and you can see there's the area for it to.
Okay, yeah, I want to see if I can flip it over.
You go and you start to turn it, and it does start to turn. And the lady, you will see as you start to turn it though, Lyria from the front says, "Oh, please don't turn that yet."
Wait, not yet?
Yes.
Sorry. No, I didn't know. But what do you mean, not yet?
Really quick, can you turn it back, please?
Okay. No, flip it back really fast. I'm sorry.
It's 12 hours each side.
Oh.
And so we track it helps with the hours of when birth happens, and so you notice there's little marks along it.
All right, I'm sorry. I really do apologize. I didn't mean to mess up your counting.
But I imagine you're wondering if it is always flowing.
That tracks.
As Our Lady,
Okay.
the
It's always going. I get it.
the flow of time does not stop, and she is the one who watches over it.
And the wheel of time turns. I get it.
Gosh.
So
I love how you're a champion of this deity, making fun of this deity's ways.
No, I was not making fun of the deity's ways. I was making fun of Wheel of Time. I was making a tie-in. Leave me alone. All right. No, that
because you would know
that
as a
tracks.
champion that the
that tracks. That
hourglass
makes
is
sense.
the most common symbol.
No,
of
I know
Pharasma.
that. No, I know that. It's just the sand. I kind of was wondering if it was like an enchanted sand or if it was like death and life and things like that. I just didn't realize it was actually keeping track of time. I apologize.
Yes, it's okay.
Sorry about that.
No harm done.
Right. So I guess I'll just wait for the matron.
Yes, give me one moment.
Right. Thank you.
So, roll me a perception check.
Okay. 23.
23. You do hear, as you're sitting there, you hear the quiet, but you do start to hear the sounds. You have crying babies. Then you hear a woman crying out upstairs, and then the baby, and then again another sound of a baby crying. And you wait
Kind of sitting there.
tiny bit.
I want to. Is there anything else in the room to look at? Like, I mean, I can get up and I'll just go look at the
don't really have
iconography.
pamphlets, you know.
No,
It's
I'll
like
just go. I'll just look at the iconography and like the carvings into the walls and stuff.
roll a crafting check.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you have any crafting as a specific skill.
It didn't matter. It was a 1.
All right, looks awesome. All that's
Highly
right.
impressive.
There's carvings in the wood. That's cool. You're just
There's
like
some wood there.
You're like, wow, they can carve
It's really
things in
neat.
wood.
It's
That's
really neat.
cool. They don't go in, they pop out. After
Oh my
waiting,
gosh.
just a tiny bit though, eventually you see a woman comes down. You hear, "Hello, my child.
I'll stand up and turn towards her.
I hear you wanted to speak with me."
Yes.
You see a short, plump woman with a very mothering face, wide jaws, apple cheeks, short hair that's actually quite cut short, dark brown. She has a very kind face. You can see wrinkle lines, lots of crow's feet.
She looked to be like in her 60s.
Yeah, maybe late 50s, 60s. She's wearing a clothing that is white but there is around the trim a trim of the blouses are white with purple and silver trim,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
as a champion of Pharasma you would be well acquainted with those colors.
Yeah. Purple and purple.
Silver.
With silver. My brain was saying gold, and I was like, no, that's wrong.
And so she just looks up with a smile on her face. Are you acquainted with the lady?
Yes, I am. Quite on a frequent basis recently.
Are you
Can I-
Anna?
What?
Are you Anduriana?
Right, so there's like 2 ways I could take that. Like, one, you like creepily know who I am, or like the other is that you asked Lyria and she told you.
Oh, no, I haven't talked to... She has told me that someone was down here looking for me. No, Our Lady told me you might come by.
Okay, that's kind of weird.
Along with being of course, the head as midwife here, I am the high priestess of Pharasma in the city.
Okay, do you have... Can we like go somewhere private? Do you have like an office or a...
She looks around at like
or
the
I know,
chapel.
this just feels kind of exposed. Like anybody could walk in and like... This
She
is
turns
kind
around,
of
just shuts the door.
Okay, I guess we're just gonna have this discussion here. That's fine. Yes,
Every other room is currently filled with a expecting mother.
I get really busy in this town. I am
Big town.
Anduriana, and
Come, sit. She sits down and she kind of pats the seat next to her on the pew. She's like, take a seat.
thank you.
You seem troubled.
Come sit down. Well, what did she tell you about me? Like, what? How did she talk to you?
Oh, she talks to me often, generally, and when I'm in my prayers, then she will speak to me.
Like a voice, like an actual voice.
At times.
So what'd she say?
Just to expect that you might come by.
That was it?
And to offer what counsel I could.
Huh.
So what can I help you
Okay.
with?
Well, so here's the deal. I'm really new to this whole god thing. I was dedicated to Pharasma when I was a child. But then my parents were murdered by the Hellknight guards, the Inquisition. And I have been a Hellknight ever since. Well, I mean, there was like kind of like a period of time I was somewhere else, but for all intents and purposes, I have been a Hellknight until maybe a month ago.
You notice that she's like, there's a bit of a sitting back, like, wait, you're what?
Former Hellknight. I'm not anymore. Obviously.
You sound like you have a very interesting story, Andoriana ex-Hellknight. Why don't you start from the beginning?
Okay.
How much do you want to tell her?
Well, okay. I'm going to tell her about, I don't want to get into like all the details because that could like make this go on for a really long time. But
if you want to tell her all details, you say, I tell her everything. Like,
I want to tell her like about what happened when I was a kid.
Okay.
And the situation that happened there with my parents and how they were killed. I'm not going to say anything about Sia.
Okay.
So
after you tell her that section, she does. Mm-hmm. She just takes you in an embrace and just hugs you with this big mothering hug from this smaller woman who's shorter than you. But you know the hug. It's like this tight one, and she's soft and kind of squishy, and she just kind of hugs you tight for a minute, and then comes back to, I'm so sorry for your family.
Yeah, it was kind of a seminal moment of my life. But after I was taken away, I was found to be a fairly good fighter because I hated the people I was with, so I kept trying to get away. And that's how I ended up as a Hellknight. I was basically told I can either join the Order and learn to fight for the Thrune Empire, whatever, or I could die.
Okay, well, that is a choice. Definitely.
An interesting one. I am fairly self-interested to stay alive, so I chose to stay alive, and that's why I was a Hellknight. But I left with the help of a slave named Az, and
okay, and
he and I discovered something, and this is where and when Pharasma actually began to take more of an interest in me.
Do you want to give her kind of the whole rundown of...
Yeah, so I'm going to give her a rundown, well, just like the basics of like what's going on.
The souls and so
with
that.
The souls being put in the automatons, and I am going to tell her that, the lady has... Like, she's pretty much told me it's my job to stop it. I had someone appear to me yesterday. Morrigan.
One of her emissaries.
Yes.
I've met one. A couple.
First, for me, I didn't expect so many spiders.
Oh, yes.
Do they leave spiders behind to, like, watch? Or was that just a natural one in my room?
Not necessarily, but, I mean, they do work with them, and they are of their... I don't think they leave them as spies, generally. If Pharasma wants to watch you, she does not need a spider to do so.
No, I imagine not. It was just odd in the same seat. And
you have been given a large responsibility. Most definitely.
I mean,
The River of Souls feeds all the realms. Because as we pass from this life, Pharasma judges us, and then we are sent on to the realm from which we belong. Thus, in a way, all the gods take strength from the river. And if the river does not flow, it would cost all the deities, all the gods. This is why all the gods are at least respectful of Our Lady, because they all need her.
So she essentially is the power behind the gods.
In a way, the gods existed before, but now with the armies of heaven and the armies of hell, they need those. It would definitely change things quite a lot.
The one of the things that happened was the souls were being collected in like crystal pieces and stored there, almost like storage.
Have
you ever heard of anyone storing souls outside of like the river?
I know from stories long told. Do we need to pause right there and go deal with him?
He's just trying to get Letty to go upstairs with him.
That...
Michael, leave her be, honey.
Michael,
leave her be.
go to bed.
Go to bed and leave her be.
This is why we're pre-recording.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta do a lot more work with this one, though.
No.
Well, I do know that Our Lady has individuals such as you, it appears, to stop those that interfere with the flow. And there have been many over time, so there has to be ways in which those interfere with the flow, the raising of undead. But of this specific magics, I am not a worker of magics. I would not know.
I just was hoping maybe there was something in like lore or history of...
I am a lead those who seek her, but I myself am not deep in the magics of the outer planes.
It's all right. So what am I supposed to do? I mean, she said, Morrigan said that I needed to find allies for the battle ahead, for the fight against Cuthwaldwin, but I have nothing.
Well, it sounds like you came here. You have this who have you worked with, and it sounds like you've accomplished some things. Do you not have other people you've met who are strong like you?
I mean, Captain Rogers is pretty strong, and Ulfric. Or like, I see, and that's where I don't like. Am I supposed to like lead an army back to the Citadel and destroy him, or am I supposed to, be sneaky and try and bring about the destruction of Cuthwaldwin that way?
I think that is your choice, and I think that Our Lady chose you to make that choice.
Does the in-between...
The what?
The in-between, between life and death.
The River of Souls.
Well, there's the River of Souls, but there's got to be... I mean, if there's a river, there's other things.
The River of Souls flows through all of the plains and ends at the Boneyard.
I don't know how to explain the question I have. I'll think about it for a while and then come back. This is just I don't know how to be a champion. I was supposed to be taught that, and instead I was...
No one can be taught to do what you're being asked to do. You just must find a way to do it.
Just soldier through.
Soldier is probably the right way to say it too. I will say this. If you were going to do this, how would Anna do this?
I would probably build an army and take it straight to his front door.
If Our Lady chose you,
But I don't have an army.
I think that would be the raise, find allies.
It's just hard because I've never done the political thing. And I feel like that's what would be required.
Sometimes it is. Other times, a strong, honest leader can do a lot. I was here when the Silver Ravens led the rebellion.
I'm sure that was interesting.
It was. There were those among them that were a bit more covert, but there were also those who were not.
I just kind of like...
It takes...
I smash things with hammers and with
and
swords.
This as?
He's subterfuge.
So it sounds to me like you have everything you need.
I guess. I was just hoping that you would kind of like...
Tell you what to do?
Yes.
Life is never that simple.
No, I imagine
And
it's
generally, life is like birth. We get shoved out into the cold, kicking and screaming. And that's just the way it is.
Yes, I imagine that, that you're right. Well, is there anything else? I should probably get back to my friend at the academy.
I think that you need a warm cup of tea and a cookie. I think we have some.
I would love a cookie.
So she's going to go out. She comes back a moment later and she's got a thing of hot spiced tea and a warm cookie.
It's not warm, but I'll hold this.
And a warm cookie for you.
Thank you. Wait, what was her name?
Her name it was Enri Dawnwatcher. Enri and then Dawnwatcher.
Okay. Henry.
As you're sitting there still talking, you do see a woman opens the door. You see a tall elven woman, and she's like, "Matron, we need your help. Looks like we need to turn one." "Oh, okay. Yes, well, I will, I need to get back to my duties. Babies wait for no one. And I think we have a storm coming tonight, so things are busy."
All right. Well, thank you, Henry. I appreciate it.
"Come back anytime.
Okay.
And if ever I'm not here, my husband's next door.
You... Okay.
He's the high priest, and he helps with the funeral needs."
So you birth them and he puts them in the ground?
"Correct.
That works.
Our Lady's work."
Goodbye.
And then she'll head and take care of, go back to birthing babies.
Is that legit lore that that's what her temples are?
Oftentimes, yeah.
Holy crap.
I'm the one that decided to put them together.
That's hilarious. Oh wait, before she totally takes off, she's like walking out the door.
Yes.
Like, oh, by the way, Sir Michael St. Clair says hello, from himself and Sophie.
Oh, you see a sadness come across her face. "I hope they're doing well."
They seem to be... Oh, did you do for his wife?
Yes.
Oh. They do seem to be doing well. Sophie is adorable.
She was glowing from the moment she was born.
Yes, I've heard that the Azimir do that.
Quite literally.
But they're doing wonderfully.
Thank you very much for that. That's good to hear.
You're welcome.
And then she's gonna
I'm like,
head upstairs.
Okay, bye. I'm gonna sit for just a moment or two more, and then once I've gathered my thoughts, I'm gonna get up and then head back out to the horse.
All right. You head out.
As I leave, I am going to say goodbye to Lyra. Or Lyria.
Yes.
It's Lyria. Just say goodbye to her and then head out and
All right.
jump on my horse.
Jump on your horse.
I'm a horse. No, it's not I got a horse. It's I'm on a horse.
Okay. What else are you going to do? So you've been there. I'm going to say you've been there for a good hour just talking with her.
And then I'm assuming it took a little bit of time to get to.
Yep. So I'm going to assume that by now you're getting close to lunchtime.
All right. Well, then I'm going to head back over the bridge, over the little river, and then find a little place to maybe grab some food.
Okay.
And reach into my bag of holding and grab my little sack of gold.
All right.
My very little sack of gold that I have. And I'm going to buy some lunch. Maybe I might grab a sandwich or something like that for Az too.
You find a place where they've got some mutton that they'll cut off for you and throw it on a fresh baguette.
Lots of baguettes. Apparently, we're very much in Paris, France right now.
Lots of baguettes.
They're really good there.
All right. So you do that, have some lunch.
Yeah, and then just head back to the academy to go find Az in all of his geeky glory.
All right. So as you...
Sorry, I can't apparently not mess with my mic tonight.
leave it alone.
I keep changing.
Just leave it alone.
I just keep changing height, and I'm like,
I'm going to keep it right here.
okay.
So as you are going through, you come into the academy. There's lots of students around.
And I do want to make a point to say I do have my great sword strapped to my back right now.
All right,
It
cool.
is not in the bag of holding.
All right.
She's wanting to feel a little bit more fearsome because she's feeling vulnerable.
All right. As you walk down the hallways, suddenly
Oh, jeez.
you hear a loud bang and a puff of green mist comes spraying out from a nearby doorway. Roll a constitution check, fortitude check for me.
Gosh, fortitude check or save?
Save.
Okay. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Hold on, I gotta find my fortitude. 12, 9. So 21.
21. You breathe this in and just barely sustain yourself from getting nauseous as you cough at this gas that is coming. And then out from that room, you see running a short creature with green skin, and on its head... No, that's not a hat. That's a toadstool. And black beady eyes, short arms, as this leshy just comes out of the room. Oh, jeez. That was... that didn't go over well. Oh, hello. Were you...
What the bloody hell are you?
I'm Turnip Bellwater.
No,
Professor.
You can't be... You can't be serious. Your first name is Turnip.
Yes.
And you're Leshy.
Do you have a problem?
No,
with
I don't
that?
have a problem with that. That's just hilarious. I'm
sorry. I'm really sorry. No, I'm being very rude.
Do you have a problem with plants?
No, I have no problem with plants. I do apologize. I've never met a leshy before. Not in real life. I've heard about them. I've never seen one before.
Well, I hope next time you're a little nicer.
I am so sorry. Look, if you would like, you can make fun of my horns. That's fine. Or
Looks
my
up.
tail.
That would be rude. I would never do that. Are you okay? I was working with some rare, different fungi in there, and they spored.
I can tell. No, I'm okay. As being a soldier, I have pretty high constitution. We're fine.
You're a soldier.
Yes.
Why are you here?
I'm sort of a soldier, but not for the city. It's complicated. I'm a fighter. I'm here for Az. Have you seen an Azimir running around? Very symmetrical face, stock white hair. Very bookish.
What's he here to study?
Arcane?
Delta. And she points down the hall, 5 doors down.
Okay. Do you need any help?
No.
Getting anything?
Nope.
Are you? And I really do apologize. I'm sorry. I was just taken aback. I've never met a Leshy before. I'm Anna.
Hello, Anna. As I said, I'm Turnip Bellwater.
It's very nice to meet you, Professor Bellwater.
But I've got to get back in there
okay.
Get them. And you watch as all sneak. He puts his hand forward like this and out sprays water. As he's like, if you water them, they stop doing it. And so he just walks in as you
Are there
stand
like
there.
students in the same room too, or is it just like this is his personal
Roll a
office?
perception check.
Oh, that's not bad. 25.
25. You do see 2 older students.
So he's got doctoral students
Probably,
there.
yeah, doctoral students there.
Okay.
Helping with it. They both have their hands covering their mouths and like that as he starts to spray down this big table filled with fungi on it.
Do they look like that they've had like any like actual damage done? Like could I like do like
you see there's
lay
a
on
little
hands or something
one of
on
them is leaning over a trash can.
Like-
Just kind of vomiting, but nothing.
Okay.
They don't seem like they're like too
All
bad.
right. Okay. It's like, okay, all right, but thank you, bye, and sorry again, sorry. And I just kind of like head the direction that he pointed to.
All right. So you head a couple doors down, find the same room that you'd seen before. Mm-hmm. Walls filled with books. Like you said, that Beauty and the Beast library type situation. In the middle, though, is the big, beautiful working table with different, what appear to be strange, arcane type instruments and things like that. And Az and him are just sitting there at the table working on things, books open in front of them as they are engrossed in their studies.
And they don't notice that I'm there.
They have no clue you're there.
I'm gonna come in and just I'm not like super stealthy, but I'm like I can walk kind of quietly. So I'm gonna kind of just walk in. I don't want to like totally disturb them, so I'm gonna just come in and lean against one of the bookshelves and study slightly. I'm gonna look at Az and just kind of admire the picture that he creates.
Okay. You see him there. He's definitely engrossed, and surprisingly, you see every once in a while a flicker above his head.
Of his halo?
Of his halo.
He's concentrating that hard.
So,
wow.
That engrossed in his study. And looks like I'm missing a dice. You wait. It's about an hour goes by, and they still haven't looked up or haven't looked back.
Wait an hour? Are you kidding me? I'm like maybe 10 minutes.
All right,
I'm gonna sit there and I'm not gonna sit in like a total creeper, like stalker, and like staring at Az. But just like I wanted to take a couple of minutes to kind of like take in.
All right.
The pretty picture that he creates by just being alive.
Mm-hmm.
So then after a few minutes, I am gonna Az.
Up here, dear.
And then he'll turn around. Oh, Anna, how long have you been standing there?
For at least an hour.
Oh, I am. Oh, sorry. And Delta will turn and look at you. Oh.
No, I haven't been here for an hour. I've been here for like 10 minutes. It's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were engrossed in our studies.
Yes, I know.
We do have as like, oh yes, Anna, and he picks up the sword and presents it to you.
You don't have my sword.
Sorry, your armor. He presents the armor to you now, showing you there on a spot there in the center of the back is now a glowing sigil.
So you just kind of flip it over and look at it and kind of...
Here, take this.
What does it...
He hands you a little hammer.
Okay, hammer.
And then he says, tap it.
Tap it with the hammer.
Yeah.
Am I hammering it all day?
No, just once against the armor.
Okay. Did you get...
Nope, not at all.
No. If I had a hammer... Okay.
No.
All right. So I'll just knock it once.
But as you knock it, you notice that before, as it goes to hit, there's a slight magical aura that flares out, and you feel a slight pushback on it as you hit the armor.
So it kind of goes like ding.
Not like that. It's more like you feel like there's a hesitancy, so that way the blow doesn't quite hit the actual armor as hard as it generally would.
Okay.
So because there's a +1, there's a potency rune, so it gives you +1 to AC on the armor.
Oh, okay. Cool. How do I add that?
I'll show you how to add rune later.
Okay.
So at the moment, just whenever you're adding it, just add 1 more to your AC.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's quite handy. Thank you.
I learned I also learned this. And then he's going to look at you, and then suddenly he's not there anymore.
As?
Anna!
What?
And you look, and he's now across the room, a good, 30 feet or whatever away from you.
Holy fudginoli, what in the world?
I learned this is a spell that lets me stop time and
Wait, you
move.
didn't just teleport. You stopped.
I stopped time.
For everyone?
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
In the entire world.
Apparently, yes.
And I'm going to look at Delta. Everyone, everywhere in the entire world.
Time is a flowing, and it is a dimension, and you can move through it just as one moves through a room.
So everyone in the entire world, for half a second, we stopped.
No, he moved through it.
Okay, I will leave that to
if you like, I have a lecture on quantum.
Thank you so
arcane
much.
theory.
I believe you. As can do incredible things. That's amazing. That's really wonderful.
Just that there are a number of spells here I want to learn over
Can
the
you
next
go
couple
through?
of days.
Can you go through like a wall?
No, because I still have to walk.
Oh.
To me,
So you're not
time-
actually like teleporting.
No.
You're not like.
No.
Okay. That's slightly creepy and very cool.
Although, I believe. One moment. Let me double check. I think I actually just got that spell.
Did you?
Let me just double check. And and then Oz will play. Also, I think I can do that as well. And then he's going to move his hands together and then part them like this, as if he was opening a curtain. And then suddenly he's gone and he's on the other side of the room. It's like, that time I did.
Okay. That's cool.
So in that, I potted the space. In the
No,
one,
that's
I
right.
pot
Okay,
time.
wait.
In this, I pot space.
Can you do it with more than one person?
Unfortunately, no. It is
Oh.
only myself.
Well, no, that's actually it's kind of surprising and slightly shocking. But that's extremely cool and very useful.
Gets me away from people who want to cut me up.
Yes, so essentially we can get into a fight, you can bamf out, and I can stay right there.
Just I can run away.
Good.
More
Because
so
you are
I
very
can,
squishy.
More so I can get out of range, and then I can blow them up.
I know, but you are very squishy, so
Yes.
running away is not a problem. Live to run away another day.
Yes. All right. Well, you ready to go back? I can.
I'm basically done.
Okay, I will. We come back tomorrow, though. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, we will. Delta.
Thank you,
It
Delta.
is a pleasure. I will return on the morrow.
Yes.
Of course.
He will be back.
You are welcome.
And he will have my sword.
Yes,
to
we
make
have
it-
more to add.
More powerful than it is now.
Yes, we will.
All right. Good to see you, dear. Bye.
And you see, he's already back to reading
And
the book.
he's gone.
And he's gone. I was like,
I'm going to look at Az and be like, you really are an absolute egghead.
what is an egghead? I don't quite
Someone who's
understand.
extremely smart. And
Well-
you are very into books.
Well, thank you. Yes, I do enjoy learning. And then he's going to start trying to regale you with ideas of theory and time and space. And
I'm just going to kind of go into my own little world and think about, I don't know, where my sister might be.
all right, are you going to head back to Michael's?
Yes.
All right, so you head back to Michael's. You anything else you wanted to do that day? If not, we're just going to jump into some downtime activities.
Yeah, no, there was nothing else really. Just, I mean, I am gonna start writing a little more of, like, the details of the dream that I had earlier, the day before and whatnot. So, like, I'll just kind of be working on that.
All right. Is that just something like because you're gonna?
I want to keep a better kind of recollection, like a journal almost of it, of like the details of what happened, so that I can go back. Like there was the actual things that were said, but that I can like break them down and look at them better.
So the servants provide you with some paper to be able to start keeping that all together. And then you do get a note from Rogers, from Captain Rogers, saying that the plan is to wait another 4 days before they question the Hellknight.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to read those words and be like, this is stupid.
He doesn't seem yet to be showing the exhaustion. So, anything that you want to do? If not, we're going to just do some downtime stuff. Az definitely needs to craft a bunch of times because it takes him a day per rune.
Jeez Louise. Okay, Anna needs to... Hold on, let me find where I wrote it. Anna would like to go to a store. Oh my gosh, do I not have any of those things in here? Did I take notes in a different notebook for that stuff?
Which stuff?
When we went through the temple of Aeon or Eridan.
Oh yeah, the one from Eridan back underneath
because we still have
Citadel.
all that stuff. We have the rock. And
You do!
I kind of want to take that and go sell it.
All right, so you can actually ask Michael, and he'll be able to tell you exactly where to go. Is that something you want to do while each day, like kind of while Az is studying
maybe
stuff like that?
go hang out with the soldiers, and like do some training and stuff too. Like we don't need to RP it, but
Yep.
that's
Is
kind
there?
of my thought.
You're in downtime, so if there's any skills you did want to retrain, now would definitely be a time if you want to do any different, change up a feat or something like that. You can do retraining over the period of a week.
Did we talk about changing something? I feel like we talked about changing something.
We talked about a couple options, but if
I don't remember.
then we won't be doing them.
I don't remember what we had talked about.
So
Shoot. Can I put a pin in that? GM,
I'm sure
as
we'll
my
have.
GM,
I'm sure we'll have other downtime at some
because
time.
I know we talked about it. I don't remember what it was that we were going to change it to, though. Frick.
So you train with, you just kind of do some training, kind of
Okay,
have
fine.
some.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out with the soldiers for a little bit, and I'm not as weird around Ulfric as I had been previously. So, like, it's just kind of gone back. I'm hoping it's kind of gone back to just like the relationship that we kind of had before Anna discovered that he like has
Roll
a
a
thing for
perception
her.
check. Roll a sense motive.
It's 15. So 28.
You definitely notice as you're training with them, he doesn't act any way overt, but you can tell looks last a little longer. There are times where you'll notice him there and he'll suddenly turn away and walk the other direction or something like that. So little hints that you're getting definitely attention. But with that roll, you also notice you're getting that from some of the other guards too.
Is this like to the level that like I should be worried, or like that they're going to like ask me on some type of date or adventure?
I'm gonna ask you to roll society. Are you knowledgeable enough of social encounters for dating to know that?
That's a natural one.
You have no clue. Like, for all you know, they might be planning to murder you in your sleep. Or they might ask you out. Who knows?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Or maybe you have something on your face. Like maybe there's a mole there. You aren't sure.
I have a mole?
You're not sure why they're looking at you.
Okay.
All right,
So
well,
a couple days go by.
I'm gonna do those things and then sell it. Did
so-
I make any money off of selling the things?
Yes. I believe with both of those together, in Cantargo, Michael will help you with knowing where to go. I'll say you get 2 gold.
Really? 2 gold? You had said the turquoise was worth like 400 gold.
No, I hadn't.
Yes, you
Oh, it
had.
was worth 400. It was 400 silver, not 4 silver. Okay, I missed a 0 on there. So 20 gold.
Okay. 20 gold is better.
So wait, if I did, did I do
also-
400?
Yeah.
It was 400
You
silver.
did. It was-
because that's 40 gold for that one. Then, if it's 400 silver, that's 40 gold.
Because that's the only thing I remember that we had was we had that turquoise stuff.
Okay. So yeah, I would say then
Okay.
maybe do 40 gold
40
then
gold?
actually
Okay.
is what it would be then for that.
Okay. So yeah, didn't really. There's not really anything else that I wanted.
Let's just say you did buy also that Michael finished some of the designs for clothing.
Yes, I was gonna ask about that. If he had done that and like I was.
So
able
you
to, like,
consider
put
yourself
on-
having a couple of pairs of nice, well-cut leather. These aren't leather pants like leather pants are today. These are more like biker pants are, to where they'll protect you if something tries to whack. If you fall or something like that, there's going to be a little bit of protection on them.
Okay.
And then he does make you with a bunch of shirts. They're all a little nicer than you would want or expect. There's a little bit more frills that exist on them. The fabric has some shimmer on it and some embroidery.
I'm gonna kind of put them on and be like, Michael, these are beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, they are. That is.
And I'm kind of look at the frillies and be like, there's a little more fashion than I expected in function. But
If you do not want fashion, you go buy
no,
it yourself.
it's fine. It's fine. No, this is perfect. It's perfect. I didn't even say I didn't like it. I just said that it's a little more fashion than I expected.
Well, you could use with some more fashion.
Hi. I look fine.
And you do notice the boots, they go up a little higher than you'd expect.
They cut on my
the
leg?
cut comes up high thigh. Not high thigh, sorry, not high thigh, high calf. High calf.
Oh, okay.
Instead of they're a
low
little
ankle
higher,
boot.
kind of cut with a V at the top. Like he made some
Made
fashionable
them look
boots.
pretty. Are they like the Versilius or I don't even know how to say the name of the company.
I have no idea
Like
then.
those boots, those ones I've shown you.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, because those are really hot.
So definitely look nice.
Okay.
You do also, though, get some, sparring gear that you have and things like that you use with the knights. Is there anything else you wanted for the house? And when are you planning on making the move?
Yes, I do want to go to the house. I'd like to possibly get rid of any... No, they didn't have bunk beds. They were just single beds in each of those
single
rooms,
beds.
Huh? Okay, because she had pretty much furnished the whole thing. I think I'd like to get like a weapons rack.
Okay.
And put a weapons rack in like the downstairs area, so that there's like a place like not right next to the door, but like kind of set back a little bit.
All right.
Maybe next to the back door.
You've got two options. One, you can try and convince Az to do it in addition, like try and craft a lot.
I'm gonna go buy it.
Or you go hire a craftsman.
I'm gonna go down to the war cage.
Okay, the war cage, they sell the weapons. They don't do the racks and stuff. He can reference you out to a craftsman in the Red Roof District who might be able to do it, who helped install some of his, but he himself doesn't do that.
Okay. All right, fine, I'll do that.
All right.
Wait, but while I'm at the war cage, I want to ask him. Do you have... Okay, do not tell Az this.
All right, what can I do for you?
Do you have a bastard sword?
Yeah, I got a lot of bastard swords.
Do you have a bastard sword that's like really good? Like top of the line. What's a top of the line bastard sword? Like how much is one?
Well, I've got adamantine, but that's like I've got one that I keep in the back in a vault.
But how much is it?
That's gonna run you.
That's gonna run you. The GM looking it up really quick. Do you want me to look?
No, I can get it real quick actually with this. Just go. Okay, there's crafters and treasures. Adamantine on that is probably, I think that's somewhere around 50,000. I think more than that. What is it? Did you look it up?
It's having a really hard time pulling it up. I did just look it up, but it's like having a hard time. It is not that much. Jeez, you freaking want to overcharge me. 1,400.
Adamantine?
High grade is 13,000.
Okay.
Standard grade is 1,400.
Really?
That's what it says. That's what it says. 2E.
That's per bulk, just so you know. So
it's 140 per gold per bulk. GP per bulk.
Iron, dark wood. Okay,
crafting requirements: at least 175 gold of adamantium plus 17.
Oh, sorry, got the wrong type. Sorry, I said that wrong. The wrong type then. Okay, so you want the top of the line would be though the orichalcum over there. That would be your highest grade, and that's it's gonna run you. Yeah, the high grade one is 10,000 gold per.
Okay, what would be like like 50 gold?
I mean, what are you looking for it though? Because these are higher expensive, but they're for kind of specialty things. They do certain things. Like depending on the metal, it has certain properties. Like cold iron if you're fighting demons.
I'm not
Dragonhide if you want fire resistance.
I'm fighting other metal-based creatures. Like robots.
Like what?
Robots? Robots.
Can you describe these things to me? Clockwork?
Yes. Clockwork. Why did I suddenly lose the word? Automatons.
Well, I've heard stories about things like that, but
or androids.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. But they're like clockwork people.
Well, if
So
you're
it's
just
metal. So it's metal on metal. I need
I mean,
something
wouldn't
that's
you
going to
just-
cut through metal really well. Or do you have a rune that cuts through that would like make it so that it sliced through metal like butter?
I mean, your potency runes, which you already have one.
Yes, I
I believe
do.
the fire rune that I sold you would, definitely.
Would that
be-
like superheat the metal though, and then but wouldn't it destroy?
I
the
don't think we have
metal?
anything like what you're looking for, and anything like that.
Alright.
And honestly, the GM is not sure of anything that does what you're talking about. Like you're asking for a lightsaber. I don't think they have a
no,
lightsaber.
I mean like.
Yeah, you like can slice through metal like butter. I don't think there is.
Do you have a laser? Can we just get a laser?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, then, I probably need to have a bastard sword anyway. Az keeps talking about it. So can I just get, do you have like one that's like 50 gold? Like a nice one that is gonna do well and fits well in my hand. And
Yeah, let's take a look.
Okay.
And so he pulls out a couple of different hand fits, different lengths, different handle size types. Some that are wood, some that are nice leather wrapping, and eventually you can find a bastard sword. Let me find it right here. For 4 gold. A regular bastard sword for 4 gold.
What's a nice one?
Well, okay, so in Pathfinder, the way it works is they're all standard, and then it's the runes you put on them that make them special. So you would take the runes that are on your big sword, and you'd move them over to the bastard sword.
Well, do you have any other, okay, wait. I want to buy the fire rune then from you.
You already bought that.
I thought I bought the other one.
You bought both.
Oh, I bought both.
You bought the ready rune for the armor, which can also be put on top of the potency rune. And then you bought the fire rune to put on your sword.
Oh.
Now, did you tell Az not to put the fire rune on your sword, or is he wasting a day of crafting that then he's gonna, because it will take 2 days of crafting.
He'll do it.
He'll
do it.
It takes a day each
That's fine.
to move the rune.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. He can do that. That's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. The GM's Weston, you're over there like, I'm trying to be a GM, but at the same time I'm getting annoyed because she's making my character do all of this.
Well, I'm just saying you had 4 days until you're going to question them. They won't
Yeah.
be; those won't be on the bastard sword.
No.
But
But I feel like I should get a bastard sword.
Okay. All right, you can get a bastard sword.
So, all right. So I'm going to try out a couple because he did say hey, he had a couple, right?
Yep.
I'm going to try out a couple. Swish, swish, bang, bang.
Swish, swish, bang, bang.
Smash, smash. And then I will buy one. For how many gold?
It was just 4.
Just 4.
It's 4 gold. Again, it's a normal sword. The way that Pathfinder does it is there are specialty magical items that are rare or that are unique magical items, but most of the weapons you can buy any weapon or pick up any weapon that you like, transfer the runes, and now all of a sudden you've got the same potency and effect runes as on your old weapon. So they make it really easy to change weapons and not have it cost you on your attack and damage.
Okay. That works. All right. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to do.
All right.
And I'll just go back and...
So now I'm asking because of Az's crafting checks for the 4 days. Are you doing this the first day of the 4 days?
Yeah. I'd probably do that the first day.
All right. So did you have, were you asking Az to work on the property rune on your armor that day?
That first day?
Yes.
And the second day would have been the sword.
Okay. So then he hasn't switched, so he put the property rune on. So the first day they put the rune on for the +1 armor.
Yeah.
Then this is the next day. That's the day
what,
you go.
What was the name of the rune that you put on the
It's
armor?
an armor potency rune.
It's freaking not in this list.
It's in the edit item. I'll show you on the break.
I clicked on the rune.
I will show. It's not in the rune section. That's for property runes. So then you've got the +1 on AC there. Mm-hmm. Then there is a ready rune he could put on the day that you go to the war cage. If you don't let him take your sword.
No, he can do that.
Okay.
It's
I'm
okay,
asking
yeah.
you what ones you want him
I'm
to
saying
do.
that's fine. That would work fine. I'm not expecting the bastard sword to have anything on it.
Okay. So he can get that on that day.
Okay.
You now have 3 days left until the
So I'll spend a day hanging out with the soldiers.
So each day, I'm more talking about the crafting and what we're putting on your stuff. So you have you had 4 days. You already have the potency rune on the armor. So you've got, then he put the ready rune, which allows you to put on the armor in half the time.
Yeah, half the time.
There's 3 days left. You have a fire rune that you want put on the armor as well. Or do you want to give him this bastard sword and ask him to try and do both? With 3 days, as long as I roll high each day, you might have that ready.
Alright. I'm gonna go up to Az one day when we're at the house.
Okay.
Be like, Az.
Yes.
Darling.
Jasana, what can I do for you?
Where are we in the house?
He's sitting in an open area reading.
Okay. I'm gonna come up and just kind of like peer over his shoulder.
Which house are you in? Are you
We're
in?
in Michael's.
Oh, you're in Mike's game.
I'm assuming. Or have we moved to...
That was my question for you.
No, we need pomp and circumstance to leave the house.
Okay.
So we're still at Michael's house.
All right.
So I'm gonna kind of lean over Michael's shoulder and be like, so I did a thing.
When you say that generally is something that's going to cause me problems.
No, it's not gonna cause you problems. That's very rude. It's not gonna cause you problems. And then I'm gonna pull out from behind me and just kind of like put on his lap the bastard sword. So I'm gonna like kind of like put it down in front of him. Same. I bought that
Okay, that is a sword.
because you've been talking about how I should have a bastard sword.
No, because
Yes.
Az hasn't been talking about that.
No,
Weston's been talking
Az
about.
has said it once in game.
Did he? Okay.
So I bought it. Do you think you could make it better?
How so?
Well, you're doing all of this arcane stuff and putting things on things. Can you create something, or do we have to buy something to put on it? Like how my sword, the sword, has that striking rune. Could you make one? Or do we need to go buy one?
No, I can transfer. Are you wanting those on that?
Well, I'm thinking I want one to be on one and one to be on another.
You want them on both?
No, I don't want them both on both. I want one to be on one and one to be on the other.
Okay, GM's asking. I don't understand what you want.
I
Haley.
want one rune on one sword and a different rune on the other sword.
Why?
Because I feel like that would be a good idea. Okay, maybe that's not a good idea.
Let me again explain these runes. So one of the runes gives you've got 2 runes that are on your sword currently. One gives it a +1 to attack. One makes it 2 damage die.
Well, I kind of want
The other one is a property rune that gives it 1d6 fire damage. You have to have a +1 to attack or a striking rune as property, which are main runes on there, in order to even put a property rune on one. They have to have one of these in order to even put one of the other ones.
Okay.
So if I did so I could move your +1 attack to the bastard sword, but it'll only be a single damage die as opposed to 2 damage die, but then it could do 1d6 fire damage. Or I put everything on 1, then you have a +1 striking fire sword.
Okay. I guess
So-
I didn't totally understand how it worked. So never mind.
So what do you want?
Never mind. In general, never mind.
You don't want them all moved to the...
No.
Okay. All right, then.
So never mind. We're gonna retcon all
Retcon
that.
that.
That did not happen.
All right.
So yeah, let's just like get
I'll just chill and hang, and he can do the things. And
One other thing about your sword, just to remind you, is it is a silver greatsword.
yeah.
Which does give a bonus on attacks against fiends and other things like that.
Yeah, and like undead and vampires and werewolves.
I'm not sure if it does on werewolves or undead. I have to double check.
It better do it on werewolves. It's freaking silver.
All right. So
That's it.
okay, that's it. So are you wanting the flame rune on the sword?
Everything on the sword.
Okay, cool. All right, let's roll another crafting check. Make sure that can actually happen. All right, he rolls high enough. So you now have your armor with the runes on them. You have your sword with all the runes on them. I think that's all of that. Az is going to start a crafting check. Won't have time to finish it, to upgrade his staff, and that will succeed. So he's got to start now working on his staff, trying to upgrade it so that way he can add more healing spells or different types of healing spells to that. But he gets halfway done and have to do a little more later. Anything else you want to do within those 4 days? All right. On the 4th day, you wake up, get ready. You're hanging around the St. Michael's house when a knock comes at the door, and one of the servants will come to get you. Yes, Captain Rogers is here to see you and us.
Is he in the receiving room?
He's at the front door. He actually did not
he's
come
just
in.
at the front. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, thank you.
He seems in a hurry.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Should I go grab Az, or is he coming out?
Yeah, you can grab Az. He's there in the house. He's sitting around, of course, reading.
Of course. All right, so I'll go down the stairs and grab Az and be like, Captain Rogers, front door.
Oh, yes, they were going to question today. Let us go.
Yes, they were going to question today.
So he will follow you to the front door. Rogers is there waiting for you.
We ready?
He's in his arm. He's got his sword at his side. Things. Yeah, today's the day. We've got Captain Windstar is there already. We think we've got him loopy enough that we might get something to slip. Yeah, so you ready to head over? I know you'd want to be there.
Yes, no, absolutely. Yes.
All right, let's head. So you're going to go to the guard station there. So they had kept him here close to Rogers and something like that. They have a holding area. They've got a jail cell there. And so he leads you through. You're well acquainted with the place. This is where you go each morning to train with the guards. You go through the courtyard, through the sand pits, which they have for sparring and things like that. Rogers is there with you, so of course no one's stopping you. You get a couple of waves and things like that. You pass through the front kind of office stopping area where they check anyone that's supposed to be coming in. And then as you go through there, in the very center, there's a single room that is kind of in the center of the building. And he opens the door, and inside you see Captain Boskeld Windstar standing there. There's another guard there, and they're sitting in a chair, chained, tied it down onto the chair. You see the Hellknight. He has had his armor removed. He is there, not hurt. You actually see he has his scars, but there's no other mark on him. And actually the chair they've got him sitting in has padding on it to be comfortable.
Yep.
And but you can tell that he's trying very hard to be alert. And Windstar's Rogers, good to see you again. Looks like I think he's ready to answer some questions. And so Rogers will walk in. Are you gonna follow? Az will come in, but he's gonna stay against the door a little farther away from him. Just kind of sitting back and watching what's happening here. At this time, we are going to make a bit of a switch since this is your character that you are going to be GMing. You're going to be playing the part of the Hellknight that is in custody. So Windstar will turn to you, to Anna, and he'll be like, I know you've got some history. He came here looking for you and your friend, but is best if we have one person asking the questions, one person he's focused on. So if there's something you want to ask, give me a tug, talk to me, then I will do the questioning. Rogers, we good with that? Rogers nods and kind of, I'm going to let you, he's going to let him take lead. Anna, do you, anything before I get started?
The biggest things would just be who sent him and what were his orders in bringing us back.
Gotcha.
Those are the largest issues, and if there might be sending more.
Okay, that makes sense. As Will, at this, he's going to stand forward. He's like, I think there's some things that I might be able to do. And he is then going to cast Zone of Truth.
I knew it.
over the area. And the Hellknight will have to do a will save. He rolled a 3. But
it
if I'm
doesn't
not
matter what his plus was, he's going to lose that one.
I believe in this plus, though, I don't think he'll critically fail because I believe he had a very high will, if I remember correctly off his, the character sheet stuff. So I think he fails, so he can't speak any deliberate and intentional lies, and he's going to take a -2 on his deception checks.
Okay.
Then, as well, after casting that, he'll again step back against the walls, kind of staying away from this guy. He's like, I don't like this guy. Kept trying to grab me. He wants to take me back to Titus.
Take me back to Titus, yeah.
And then Windstar will turn. So, are you ready to talk yet? What brought you here?
What brought any of us here?
Well, I'm here because they asked me to come talk to you. Hellknight to Hellknight.
I don't see a Hellknight before me. I see a traitor.
Well, I didn't ask to have our order broken up. What were your orders, soldier?
My orders have been as they have always been. To find and hunt down the slaves who have left their rightful place.
All right. And who gave you this specific order?
I'm just gonna kind of move his body just a little bit, as in aching and feeling uncomfortable, and he's going to say,
Sorry?
The masters in the Citadel in Farak.
He's going to turn and look back at Az, look over at Az. All right. Why?
Just kind of blink for a second. If I tell you the answers to the questions that you have, my life is forfeit.
I hate to tell you this, but your life might be forfeit anyway. Now, we've got 2 options, though. I can do it quicker and easy, or I can make you suffer. If you answer my questions, I'll make sure you suffer.
You can see he kind of feels, he has a bit of a reaction to that. He's in favor of the suffering.
That's why I said if you answer.
He looks over at Az, completely ignoring basically everybody else in the room except for Az and the man in front of him. He looking directly at Az, he begins to answer the question. He says, "Your master wants you back. And he has gone to great lengths to keep his involvement on the down low. But he will not stop." And he looks at the... Oh, shoot, I forgot his name. The other guy. The
Windstar?
Windstar, there we thank you. He looks at Windstar and he says, "This country, as it were, that you've made your home, will not be this country for much longer."
Windstar kind of tries to bring his attention back to him. Kind of, it interjects himself between Az and the Hellknight. "You say it won't be this country for that much longer. What is Cheliax planning? Are they going to try invading? The contract was very clear."
They will not be breaking any contract, you know. You know how that country is. The House of Throne holds to their word. But the question is, whose word are they holding to? Which one supersedes the other?
The contract itself was with the highest.
But a contract with a god? A god that has laid claim? That's something different entirely.
And which god would this be? I can't imagine it's yours.
Asmodeus has what he wants. Zon Kuthon has no interest in the pettiness of men. He enjoys the pain. I don't know all of the answers to the questions you have. But I know that one, and he looks at Az, he has a part to play.
And what part do you have to play?
He continues to squirm a little bit in his seat. My part to play is one that has been played 1,000 times over. I am the blunt instrument for an elegant game.
And who holds the instrument? Who plays the game?
Kind of smiles and chuckles just ever so slightly that it ends in a little bit of a cough. At the moment,
And there we are. Oh, and I don't have my mic. So,
Wait, are
last
we live?
time, yep, the Scions,
Hey guys.
you had the opportunity to
How's
go
it going?
check
Here's your
out
microphone.
the Alambassador
Here you
Academy.
go. Weston gets to just hold his microphone tonight.
Yes, I do. Walking first in, we're faced with a animated statue.
Yeah.
One of
Okay.
the animated statues
Sorry.
there of
Little
the Academy.
little
Apparently-
scattered. So obviously I'm wearing different clothes and I look different. And
So am I.
Weston looks different. So we kind of have jumped into our own live stream. We've interrupted it for a couple of reasons. Wes, do you want to explain the technical issues?
Yeah, so we had our video all set up as you were watching, and then the last little bit decided to not be there anymore in the file.
Yeah, there was like
So
3 minutes left and of that little interview. Just so that you guys know, if you're watching, he does end up giving them a very cryptic message, which we may just play the end of it.
I think we'll just play the end of it on our next
week,
episode.
But he ends up giving them a really cryptic message and dies in a very painful way. Not by hands of anyone in the room.
Don't give away more.
So.
We'll have to show them next week.
You guys get to watch it next week.
But also, if you noticed at the beginning of this episode, we announced that we'd start doing the news segment.
Which we had already done.
Which we'd already done by the time you're watching this now.
We're trying to get used to this whole pre-recording thing. It's hard.
Well, but also, this got recorded.
This was actually recorded 2 weeks ago.
It was.
So we wanted to kind of step in and have a kind of serious discussion with you guys. I know this is not technically what you were here for.
We're going to interrupt our regularly scheduled program.
We're going to talk a little bit about mental health really quick before we end tonight.
Because honestly, that's a lot of the reason why the episode was the way it was.
And I don't know if you guys could tell I was a little off. It was not my normal cheerful, happy self that's able to like just come up with stuff on the fly and figure things out and forgetting things and whatnot. So this is kind of hard for me to talk about. So bear with me if I get a little weird with it. But we had recorded the beginning of this episode twice, and we had stopped because I had kind of a little bit of a breakdown, feeling really out of control and feeling like I couldn't remember anything, and playing on a lot of fears that I deal with on a real regular basis. So for those of you who don't know, and we've talked about it a little bit, I've struggled with depression pretty much most of my adult life, and it actually became more of a serious issue after I had our first child. And
you had postpartum depression that then untreated just became chronic depression.
And pretty serious depression as well.
Yep.
So I with each subsequent child, and we have 3 children, it got worse, and I was given a prescription. I was put on medication to help with it, and it did help for a while. And I've gone through bouts of being totally fine and everything's awesome to bouts of being horrible, to be totally honest, where it's been really, really rough. So this last week, I really struggled. And when we were trying to record this episode, I was really struggling. And the parts that you don't see is the part that I wanted to kind of talk about, is the reality of what it's like when you are a streamer or if you have a public face. And it's not, it's kind of a part of who your brand is.
Yep.
Is your face. And this face did not do well this last weekend.
It's hard. We live in, especially if you're streaming, especially if you're doing anything where you are out there, we live in a society where you've got to just put on a happy face and pretend. And we are, I see a lot of, there's a lot of increase of awareness of mental health and mental health issues. But when it comes down to it, if that mental health issue inconveniences us, if I'm watching a stream and they have to take an extra week off because of mental health issues, how do we handle it? And even in the game, how do you as a GM, like GM's not on it this week, how do we handle that? My player, especially in one-on-one campaign, if your player is not feeling it that week, there's nothing that can be done. There's not 3 other players that can pick it up and you can just kind of play in the background.
No, that is the one drawback with playing a one-on-one campaign, is that you as the player are it.
Yeah.
And you don't get to just coast. So this last weekend I had a couple of pretty intense
depressive experiences that were very scary. And they were really hard to describe. I'm not going to try and describe to you guys what happened because it's very personal, but what a lot of people don't understand, and I thought everyone felt like, I thought everybody had these types of feelings, so I never understood that what I was struggling with was not normal. I remember I was about 26 or 27 when I found out that not everybody felt like they couldn't get out of bed some days, or like the world was falling apart.
Yeah.
And when you don't recognize your own brain, your own thoughts, it's really scary. And this last weekend I had an experience like that, and we had kept on having plans to record the last half of this episode, and we would have to push it back because I just couldn't. It would hit 6 o'clock at night and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
And that happened multiple days in a row, and culminated in a really intense depressive episode on Sunday. And I feel like I have been not given, that's not the right word. I have this experience, and I've been given an opportunity to open up communication within areas that most people wouldn't normally talk. And so I wanted to kind of create just a little space to talk tonight.
We could have just said, and that's the end of the episode, but we thought that it would be false. It would be fake. It would be trying to put a Band-Aid on it to pretend it doesn't happen, it doesn't exist. And in our experience, that's not healthy. It's not healthy for individuals, it's not healthy for society. So we decided instead, when the episode was going to suddenly go black, that then we would jump on and we'd be honest about the episode. No one wants to talk about the sessions that don't go well. No one wants to talk about the sessions that, it just really was off that day.
Yeah.
But we've found, and we've seen in our lives, that when you talk about the times when it is harder, when it doesn't quite work out, that there's pretty much everyone else out there who's also dealt with that. And there is a real strength of community that happens when someone's not afraid to say, I have a hard time.
Yeah. And I would also like to acknowledge that it's not just difficult for the person who's experiencing it. It's also difficult for the person that is with them. So if that's a partner or a spouse or a best friend or whatever, somebody that's been there for you, Weston, I want you to talk about that a little bit too, of being on the other side of watching that happen. Sorry, I thought I wouldn't cry tonight.
Oh, you really thought we were going to talk about this and you weren't going to cry?
Because I know from my side, I feel like when I go through those episodes that I know I can rely on you, but I feel so guilty.
I know.
That I'm having to rely on you on such an intense level.
And it's not easy. Our big thing is that we are a married couple who takes on a world of gods and monsters. And in life, a lot of times we have to take on monsters. And sometimes it's a monster that your class can't handle.
I'm a fighter. I'm supposed to be able to handle this.
This is a magical ethereal being. You don't have ghost touch on your weapon. But it is, mental health is everyone's problem, because those who struggle with it, they have to deal with that monster. But they leave a hole that those who care for them have to try and fill. And when you're married with 3 children, 3 rambunctious little boys,
crazy little boys,
it's a big hole.
Yeah.
When we're streamers, When you're a performer, you leave a hole. And I think that that's not, it should be evidence of the importance of you because there is a hole. If you were not important, if you didn't do anything, there would be no hole to fill. But there is a hole. And it does make things harder on those who support you because there's that hole. So I would say rather to anyone who is the loved one of someone who deals with mental health, recognize that hole. And for those who deal with mental health issues, recognize that there is a hole that's left when you're not around and take that as evidence of what you bring. It's so easy to look at who you are when you're in the hole. To see the gap and to define yourself as the gap. But you aren't what's there when you're not around. It's what's there when you are. Because that's the space that you fill generally. And so it's a very difficult thing. It is a struggle that we've both worked through over years of marriage. We're 13 years now of marriage. It took a while before we could admit what was happening.
And it's been a journey for both of us of trying to figure out how to manage, because the unfortunate reality is I am going to have a brain that functions this way for my entire life. And learning how to cope healthily. And I'm working on not turning to food because it's the easiest thing to do.
Yep.
That's where TTRPGs come into play and found families come into play.
They do. Well,
and I'll clip this so that you guys can all see it because you don't all live in the U.S. But my found family, and you know who you are. You mean a lot to me. Because when he can't be there, I know that you're just on the other side of a chat room. So, found family matters. And TTRPGs create a situation where I can feel like this. And my character can take a demon, sometimes a literal demon, and cut it down.
The reason I've always loved fantasy, my family's not into fantasy. No one else in my family reads fantasy. We're
the weirdos.
My dad one time, I was talking to him about a book that I had read, fantasy. And he's like, yeah, I don't have time for that trash. And then he realized what he'd said a moment later. He's like, oh, wait, I don't
mean trash. It was like, thanks, Dad.
But there's a reason that fanciful stories of dragons and warriors have existed for all of human history.
Always.
It is because they teach us that we can fight the monsters. That as I said, you look at the stories of heroes. Heroes always carried a load. And so you can play out in your game the load that you carry as a hero and then know when you carry your load in life that you are a hero. Because you take on that load. And sometimes you need Revivify. Sometimes one of you falls in battle and you've got to takes a ceremony, it takes a period of time and sometimes a lot of money to bring that person back.
It's a lot of money.
But the power of fantasy, of storytelling, is in seeing and being able to experience the feelings of heroics, of being heroic, And then the real power is taking that and seeing, okay, what are the monsters that I actually deal with? What are the actual monsters in my life? What are the actual obstacles? What are the actual skill challenges that I have to deal with on a daily basis? And sometimes the monster wins. And you have to rebuild. And maybe you rebuild a slightly different character. That's what's built up after. Because you can always do that. And so if you can, as long as you can do that, the monster doesn't win. The quest continues. The campaign goes on. Yeah, and sometimes you're right, Souls. It's about changing the party composition. It's about bringing in other. In our case of a 2-person campaign, it's about bringing in other NPCs.
Or
counselors,
in life,
friends.
It's calling on the people around you.
Yeah.
For help.
Yeah, call that cleric.
Call it.
That's what Souls just said.
It's not call the midwife. It's call the cleric.
Yes, call the cleric.
Anyway, so we wanted to kind of just get on and do a little real time, in the middle of our not real campaign.
We know that we aren't the only ones in this space who deal with these issues, and I know that I felt like we could slough it off. We could just pretend, oh, look, technical issues. But no one gets... There are a lot of people who aren't willing to say this. They're going to claim, oh, no, I'm fine. And we've seen the number of times where it's helped someone else when we were willing to say, we're not fine. We had a horrible emotional week. Our kid broke his arm, which triggered a lot of memories for you.
Yeah, it was really... I had a really traumatic childhood because I was a freaking Dennis the Menace type character.
Yeah, you broke both your arms
everything
at once, and there was that. There were other issues that came up, problems at work. It all piled on.
Everything compounded to a moment where I couldn't cope anymore.
And we feel the world will be a better place if more people are willing to, in that moment, look around them and say, I'm not okay.
Especially big burly men like you.
Oh. And so that's where we thought, we definitely thought that we didn't want to do that to you, to those who will be watching this and claim, oh, technical issues were all okay. No, we weren't okay. With the last 2 weeks, our streams have been difficult. We didn't have an episode at all last week. This one is what we recorded 2 weeks ago. And it didn't work out quite right.
Yeah.
But this is not an excuse. This is a share. We're not going to claim other than what really happened, because that would be a lie. And so
it doesn't help anybody.
It doesn't. Lies never help anybody.
Yeah. So thank you for hanging out, you guys. And we will be doing the combat. I
have really cool terrain. It's a really cool encounter.
It's a really cool encounter. So we will be starting next week's episode with that. And the very beginning of, or the very, I guess, the ending of that interrogation. So
please
you.
Tune in next week. I think, I'm hoping by then we'll be able to record. If not, we don't record. Because you have to take care of yourself first. It's difficult. We all have responsibilities.
And if you guys think about it, that's the first Tuesday we've not had something since we started doing this in May.
Yeah, we've been going a good long time without a...
So it's kind of an amazing track record. But thank you for being so loving with everybody within the tabletop sphere that we've interacted with has been just absolutely incredible, and we really do love you guys. It's fine.
And I'll say, just remember that even though it only takes two, it's so much greater with so many other people. And we love you all. So you have a great night, and we will see you next week Monday, remember, is our big, we've got Jake, the founder of GameViewMaster.com and the creator and inventor of Terraino, who will be on. We're going to be talking terrain. Lots and lots of terrain.
It's going to be freaking awesome, you guys. I'm so excited.
Thanks, Synth Night sends virtual hugs.
Thank you.
But hopefully we'll see you next week. We will be jumping into some amazing combat, so with some amazing terrain, and we will see you then.
See you guys. Good night.